Thoughts at the dude yelling at a baby on a Southwest flight.
Stuck in a holding pattern for weather, and an SW, a passenger loses his mind over a baby.
That child has been crying for 40 minutes. Lower that, and you can't put your fucking finger in my face like that. Calm the child down, please. We are in a fucking tin can with a baby in a goddamn echo chamber, and you want to talk to me about being fucking okay?
Okay, because you're yelling.
So is the baby.
Okay, so you're a man.
Did that motherfucker pay extra to yell?
Okay.
No. Shut up. Fuck you and shut up.
No.
Lower your
Okay.
voice. Fuck, lower that baby's voice.
Okay. I did. It's out there.
He tried to plead his case that he had a right to yell because there was two adults with a crying baby, and he shouldn't have been disturbed. Well, that's probably not how his wife imagined their Florida getaway going.
I think that I think society is kind of falling apart. Maybe that's just being online too much and for too long. But I think that increasingly a population gets ever more polarized and maybe not hating, but distrusting every stranger you come across and resenting every stranger you come across gets normalized. We've eroded the mutualistic fabric of society where we give some reasonable doubt to other people and we hope that other people do the same to us. I know that I'm the guy who says you should have to have a driver's license for shopping carts to be able to use a cart inside of Costco, and if you don't have a driver's license for shopping carts, you should be forced to use a basket. But also, if you put a gun in my hand inside of the Costco, I would simply throw it in the garbage can. I'm not a psycho. Everyone out there is just trying to live their lives. People, I when other people get in my way, I don't always go, "Oh, you're so stupid. How could you get in my way?" I do that on stream. But then, like, in my head, I'm also like, I probably do that to other people because they got stuff they're distracted with. They're stressed out. They're not paying attention because, they're thinking about making their next mortgage payment or their kids in the shopping cart going crazy. I get it. I'm not even that mad at the guy yelling at the baby. He's obviously insane. But the tweets I did see replying to it that were like, good, why should anyone on an airplane ever have to deal with a baby at all? Did you know the human brain is wired to be alarmed by baby cries, so it's literally impossible to relax when a baby's crying? Bitch, I do it every day. Could you at least try? You put the baby to bed, the baby cries, you go, okay, here's some water. They're still crying. You go, here's some food. They're still crying. You give them a hug, you sing them a song. They're still crying. You go, I don't know what to tell you, bud. I'll come back in 10 minutes. And usually in 10 minutes, they're like, shoo, shoo. It's not the as a parent card. It's just that, like, if you're not supposed to be, like, happy when a baby's crying, though, especially, it's actually fine if it's your baby because you know what you're doing. But if it's someone else's baby crying, you can be mad. That's fine. But don't act like it's like the morally defensible position that, like, if you go out in public, you should never expect to encounter a child. It's crazy. Like, your ass was a baby. Your ass was probably crying everywhere. You know how shit went in the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s when a baby was crying in public? Nobody went to Twitter to say, hey, get your crotch goblin off of my flight. They didn't even have noise-canceling headphones back then. You just said, oh, there's a crying baby on my flight, and you fucking, read your book. Didn't even have Angry Birds or anything to distract you. For me, a crying baby makes me want to help the little feller, but that's weird with strangers. That's very selfless, but, like, listen, you gotta understand, at some point, like, you can neglect a child, but just not all crying babies are neglected. You could give them everything that could reasonably stop them from crying, and they still cry. It, like, just because you hear a crying baby, it doesn't, like, do you think the parents never thought, like, oh, can you stop that baby from crying? Why didn't I think of that? Hey, baby, I know you're fucking 35,000 feet in the air in a metal tube surrounded by strangers, strapped into an airplane seat you literally can't get out of. You're just shitting your pants over and over. Your ears are going like... But some 52-year-old narcissist in the back is trying to watch Top Gun Maverick on a 3.7-inch screen, and the headphones don't even work. You got to unplug the headphones like 70% from the headphone jack just to get the sound to come into both earphones. Could you keep it down? He's trying to watch Top Gun Maverick for the third time, but not really pay attention to the screen, but instead, for some reason, listen to the audio for Top Gun Maverick while watching the screen of the person that's sitting in front of him. Hey, there's a middle-aged man in the back of the plane who's never actually dealt with, like, any strife in his entire life, so a mild inconvenience seems like the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody ever. Could you keep it down? Just relax, man. I did like when he said, didn't he say, did that motherfucker pay for his seat? It's so funny. Wow, it's Southwest, idiot. Congrats, you spent $375 on a domestic flight. It's like half the cost of a PlayStation 5. What do you want me to bow down and kiss the ring? People are losing their minds these days, man. Hey, but unlike the PlayStation 5, at least the Seatback Entertainment has more than 3 exclusive games. Oh, man.